Hey up internet, welcome back to the Top Gear James Bond car project. Now, in the last video, I had a visit from the Stig because there is a new series of Top Gear started on BBC One. And in particularly the last episode, they did a James Bond special where they did a buyer's guide to buying Bond cars. Now, if you missed that, there is a link in the description. You can go and watch it on iPlayer. But what are we doing? Well, I've set myself a budget of 7k to build my own Bond car. I've got my wonderful Z3 here. It's got smoke, it's got oil, and it's got fire. But we need something else. We need a little bit more. And I saw this really strange video on Instagram where a car could kind of like maneuver itself by lifting itself up. And then also, we need to add more firepower.
What's that I see in my rearview mirror? Love it!
We've been expecting you, Mr. Bond.
So basically, there was a clip, looked like from like the 1920s or something, where the spare wheel on the car dropped down, pushed the car up, and then it could kind of like swing round on its front wheels. Now, it was basically dressed up as like a parking aid sort of thing. You could drive the car in and you could swing it round into the space very nicely. We don't want it for being a parking assist. If we've got flamethrowers and stuff on the front, it would be nice to be able to angle them in the direction of which our potential bad guys are. So I'm thinking we'll somehow adapt our car so a wheel comes down and can revolve it around. Now it's a bit tricky with this because granted the one in the clip was a lot bigger and the spare wheel was attached to the back, so it literally just come down on a rail. Whereas I don't have that because my spare wheel is up here. Right, let's take that off, make some space, have a look in the boot and kind of work out how are we going to do this, Colin. I think I need to make myself a little prototype on the bench. Okay, lovely people, I've been working for a long time on this kind of prototype setup. I will explain. Basically, the wheel sits on here, tucks up underneath the car, hydraulic ram, pushes it down. Gets to there. There you are, that's the wheel filling the gap between the bumper and the ground. Another hydraulic ram, pushes it all the way down, lifts the car up. Very nice. Hydraulic motor, turns the car back and forward. It ain't gonna work. Basically, this is all too weak. This hydraulic ram really, to hold it stably, would have to come across at an angle. And then we've got 2 hydraulic rams. I didn't really want to be using 3. It's all very complicated. We've got slidey things. There's a lot of potential for things to break, fold, collapse. You know, the car's heavy. It's not like we're lifting up a crate of potatoes. So I thought we're going to go simple. And basically I've worked out that we can tuck up an arm sideways on the bumper that can come down, hit the floor and then lift it up. Now I don't think it will look quite as nice, but it will work and it will be a lot simpler and it will only require 1 ram pushing in the right direction. Right, let's get on with it. Furze, build montage. You know what it's all about.
coming back on the town, and we'll take another round till I'm back on the ground, and we both know it can't keep me away. I don't like it that way.
Okay, now what you've just seen is a very simplified version of my life over the past 3 days. So what have we made? Well, this is the wheel, which is going to drop down. And it's a wonderful piece of stainless steel engineering, colinfurze. But I've no doubt this is going to be one of those projects that once it's finished and it's all in and I can see it, I will look at it and go, you could have put that there, that could have gone there, that could be bigger, and that could have been done like that. But that's just the way these things unfold sometimes. So, this thing here, what have I done? Right, so it mounts on this. Now, this is my own version of the bumper mount, which was already on the car. I basically took it off, made my own one, put some little tails on it. Now, there will be a hydraulic ram come down and connect onto it here. It's going to be turned by this hydraulic motor, and ideally, I'm going to try and find a wheel that's got a tyre on, which looks a bit better, because this one, it looks like a pizza cutter. Right, let's get it on, work out where all the hydraulics are going to go, and see... We're going to make that strong, or else we're going to end up bending the car and not lifting it up. Right, chopped hole in the car, got the ram mounted. The boot shuts, which is good. Now we just need to add a bit of strength along here, so when it lifts it up, it lifts the car up and doesn't just push itself into the car. Yes. Okay, got it mounted. Is it going to lift the car up without twisting and bending it? It's all plumbed into the hydraulic pump under the bench. Let's give it a shot. It still looks like a pizza cutter, but it does work. It's pretty cool, actually. Right, you need to work off your own power now. This is a tool. And there we are. Good for 200 bar. The pressure is not enough. Right, still operating on the pendant at the moment because I've not wired it all up. But basically, there is a little bit of a procedure. Now you have to put your foot on the brake, because if you don't, when it lifts up, it wants to roll forward and pull the thing out the back of the car, of which I have put a chain to like tether it to stop it from doing that. So. Right, now I can lift my foot off the brake, lurches forward. Oh my God, it's scary. I don't totally trust the strength of this thing, if I'm honest with you. And then left and right. Oh. Oh, this is weird. Ah, Mr. Bond, you want assisting in your parking? Yes, I do. But anyway, it does work. Right, back down we go. Look at this, look. Stig keeps going in there, staring at my welding helmet as if it's some sort of weird child of his. It's a funny thing, I tell you. Okay, so initial test go. That is pretty cool. Now, I know what you're saying. Colin, there is a hole appeared in your bumper. Well, remember at the beginning of the video, I did say we was going to put some firepower in this thing, and I ain't joking. Now, in past projects like the Tuk Tuk, I've always used airsoft, but I've got the proper licenses now, so I can actually use the real thing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get two 12 bores, Mount them on linear rails with linear actuators, so at the flick of a switch, brrr, they come, protrude out the rear bumper. Oh, how very spy car. Right, I'm going to get on and do that. I'm going to wire it all up. Basically, just finish the whole thing off. It's finished. Now, rather unusually, when I have finished a project, it normally looks completely different to when I started. But in this case, it doesn't look different at all, and that's a good thing. So, got all the guns mounted. They come nicely out the rear bumper, little flaps, and then tuck back in again. But of course, the next video, we've got to test it all. Are these guns going to work? Is the flamethrower going to set fire to the front of the car? Is the oil slick going to work? Is the hydraulic system going to be any good? Because I can't test half of it out here. And there we are. You're not going to want to miss that. So subscribe, turn your notifications on, and of course, don't forget Top Gear, Sundays, BBC One. Boom! Stigs going to love this. Whew.